Hey everybody, Aaron here from Beansprout. Something a little different for a video today. We recently made 2 instruments for Lizanne from Portland, and she is the caretaker of what we call the Carpenter ant stash. That's her father and grandfather's wood stash. We've been slowly working through it. We get a lot of nice wood from the Carpenter ant stash. So recently we finally got around to using some of the dogwood from a tree that grew on her family's property. So we invited her up here to pick up her instruments, as well as go through some of the wood that we recently resawed from that dogwood tree, and also just kind of tell the story. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Okay, we're here in the shop with Lizanne and Claudia, and Lizanne just got her instruments made of the dogwood tree from her dad's house. The tree that was in front of the driveway, right? Next to the front door, right?
It was not on the opposite side from the driveway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where the camper is?
Where the camper is sitting, yeah.
Okay. And he cut it up, and do you think he milled it on site with a chainsaw mill, or what do you think he did?
Yes, he did. He cut it up into big, like 8-foot long logs.
Mm-hmm.
And of course my mother was angry because it sat in the driveway under a tarp for like
Forever.
10 years.
Yeah.
And then he got a planer or some kind of a big machine. He set it out there, and he made the lumber slabs out of the tree.
Yeah.
And once again, they sat in the driveway under a tarp and in a little utility trailer for
Right.
a long time. And then one summer, he finally got henpecked into moving it into the garage. So he opened the garage doors and took everything out onto the driveway. Everything that's in there right now.
And those people don't know how.
No,
everyone watching this don't know what that means, but that is yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot.
In August, because you can't take it out if it's going to rain.
Yeah.
So it was beastly hot, and he took everything out, and then he put the dogwood in first, which is why a lot of it's in the very back.
Right.
And on the bottom of stuff, because he was trying to fit in every crevice of the garage wood so that he could get it all back inside the garage.
We pulled from the shed. So when did he cut that tree, do you think?
Oh,
in the 80s?
Man. Probably in the 80s, yeah.
So
now, did you make any of these slabs cut on that little bandsaw there?
I did.
Which came from the basement,
Yeah.
which I am so eternally grateful to Aaron
Right.
that is not in my basement.
This is Lizanne's dad's bandsaw that's good for resawing veneers like this, and I got it tuned up and we've been using it. So everything here got cut on that saw. So it's all karma, right?
Yes, it is.
Dogwood is pretty hard. It's kind of like maple. This one's special because it's got some black marks in it called spalting. So spalting is actually fungus starting to grow. So
would that happen in any tree, or just ones that were getting rotten and dying?
I've only seen it in certain species. So I see it in maple a lot. I've seen it in mango a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen it in now dogwood. But it's weird because if you know what, you have to control it.
Right.
And somehow your dad just got lucky, I think. Or there's tons more of it we're going to find that's rotten. I don't know. Because if it goes too far, it gets rotten, you know.
He may have already thrown away the rotten parts and just saved the best of it. That's not like him, though. He usually saves everything.
So I thought we could have start opening up some of these book matches we got, and you guys can see what you think.
That's pretty.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And it's long enough to be sides, so I kept it that length, you know.
That is really
And so the
nice.
way, when we're going through, a little knot up there.
Little knot, yeah.
When we're going through these stacks of book match stuff, what you do is we want to keep them so that we don't mix up the order, so that we always know the right way to go. So what you do is open them like this, and then when you're done, you're still in the same order, right? Because look at that down there. That's pretty cool, huh?
But if you fold this back, does it book match with the other one, or is that like a...
It does. But
isn't that weird?
Yeah. Well, it's not weird because it was like that in the board, right?
Yeah.
That's the way it existed, and you can see there's his writing.
Yeah, that is his
shows it,
writing,
right?
Dogwood, so we can find it in the garage.
Exactly.
You going this way?
Nope.
The other way.
There
This
you go.
way.
So a little less faulting, but very colorful.
Now, my dad made me a dogwood ukulele out of the dogwood. When he got one of those books that tells you how to make your own ukulele.
Right.
And so the sound hole's not in the spot that it usually is, and the bottom is just flat, and the bridge pulls off of it. But this is the kind of wood that he used for the top of that.
Oh, okay.
I should show you that sometime.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. Let's look at this one. So let's open it up.
This way?
Yep.
Ooh, look at that.
Wow.
So I found that the tone on the back and the sides, I thought it was like, sounded as good as maple, but a little bit softer. You know, not quite as loud as maple would be. But we paired it with a cedar top, and it was
look
a
at that
good
spalking all
choice.
the way around that.
Well, and this is what you got to look out for, though. Look, there's a crack
Yeah.
next to that spalting. So you have to decide, are you going to use
there's
that
a
or
big
not?
crack
You know,
there, yeah.
so may or may not use that.
Yeah, there's cracks in that one too. Look at all those.
So when you cut a piece of board, you don't really know, is it sort of like, oh, you know, this is...
Ooh, there's part of that's
a good one. Sometimes you know, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
You just can read different clues, but that one's pretty special, and that's big enough for a baritone. So I thought I'd leave it that way.
that's cool.
I think this might be the same as like the little piece that your dog had on the back of your
on
Scout.
the back of the Scout. Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like that. Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
And then this one's really special too.
Claudia, are you getting ready to buy a dogwood ukulele?
So. And these little soprano Scout ukuleles, the goal is to get a lot of sound out of a little package, and the cedar top is always a good idea.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, we used to play under that tree all the time and climb up that tree, and it had the most beautiful white flowers, and it was huge. But I think dogwoods don't live forever, and it started rotting and falling, and we had to cut it down. But it was pretty sad because it was like a heritage of our property. Look at that. That looks like it might be part of that Scout piece too.
That looks like a bat.
That looks like a turkey.
The legs, the turkey legs, that is. Yeah. But this does look like a bat. Yeah.
Bat hanging upside down.
Oh yeah, that too. You're right.
The bat uke. Only bounded by your own imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one has a heart.
Oh, it does.
Look at that.
Oh, there's the heart.
That's a pretty clear
Oh,
one.
that's
yeah.
really cool.
That's
Look at that. Someone needs a ukulele out of that heart.
yes,
Pretty
I think
neat.
so.
So I mean, I think from just the boards that we pulled recently, Lizanne, I think we've got a dozen instruments here or so,
Excellent. That's
which is
so
pretty
exciting because I'd much rather have it out there to my ukulele friends far and wide, even if I don't know you, making music with the wood.
good. Yeah.
It'd be awesome.